Okay, my friends, it's October and it is crunch time for getting everything ready for the big holiday season. And I know how stressful that can be. So, my goal for you this quarter is to create all sorts of podcast content that'll help you crush the rest of 2024. Are you ready to get started? I know I am. Let's dive into Q4 time management hacks for social media content creation. Episode 324 starts right now.
Hey there, welcome to the Lora Shipman Show. We hang out here weekly to talk about things like social media, entrepreneurship, marketing, tools, strategies, tips, and it all starts right now. Hey there, before we get started with this show, I just want to share my passion with you. I love teaching people just like you how to master social media for business, breaking it down into easy to consume and easy to execute steps so that you can see immediate results. So whether you want to start a social media consultancy or grow your brand's presence on social media, I can help. I can help you get started and master all the things that you need to know. So I want you to go over to my website. It is filled with resources, tools, tips, and courses. Visit lorashipman.com. That's Lora Shipman.com to get all the goods. Now, you ready for the show? I know I am. Let's get started.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm glad you're here with me today because I want to share with you some social media content creation hacks that I use on a daily basis that I think would be really beneficial to you as you're getting ready to create your holiday content. So let's dive right in. I have about 10 different tips that will help you think about how you're attacking your holiday content creation. And the first thing is, and I feel like I talk about this on almost every podcast I put out there, is batching. Batch your holiday content now. So it's really busy when we get into the thick of the holiday season. Batching content is going to really help you move that needle and get the content out there that you need to get out there. So what I like to do, and I'm doing this myself right now, is I'm dedicating a few days early in the quarter here to create a bulk of my holiday themed post. And I'm thinking about, the key dates during this time period, and that's like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas, and actually even New Year's. So by batching all of these key dates in advance, you're going to just save yourself a ton of time and stress and the worry of making sure you've got content ready to go. So what I like to do is actually create a batching calendar, and that can look like anything. It could just be a pad of paper and numbers maybe 1 through 90. So like if you're going to post every day for 90 days or whatever, do that and give yourself an idea of what that post is going to look like day after day after day so that you're not caught off guard and so that you're not scrambling at the last minute. Which brings me now to tip number 2, and that is planning a Q4 content calendar. Once you have all of these ideas listed down, now it's time to plot them on a calendar and make sure you assign certain posts and content to certain major holidays that come within this fourth quarter. Some of the things you're going to want to make sure you address on this Q4 content calendar is obviously all the major holidays, all the sales events and offers and promotional periods that you are going to participate in, and what those items are that you're going to offer. Like, are you going to have a Black Friday sale, a Cyber Monday sale? Are you doing a countdown to Christmas where maybe you have certain offers that you're going to offer during that time? So think about what your business looks like and how you're going to strategically place your content throughout this last quarter. And then think about themes, right? We want to map out certain themes. So we've got Halloween coming up. What are you doing? Are you going to have a spooktacular sale? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving in November? Are you going to have something that surrounds, the theme of November of being thankful, and then holiday prep? And then figure out what your posting schedule is going to be and get on a scheduler and make sure you get that content out there and scheduled way beforehand. Now, we all know my favorite tool is Metricool. I love it. And this is not sponsored, by the way, and I know I talk about it a lot. I'll leave a link in the show notes so you can take a look at it. This is going to help you a lot. And if you get the paid version of this, when you're creating your content calendar and you're scheduling out and you're batching, you can actually see when people are online on your different social platforms and where you will get the most visibility and exposure. So I love this tool because it really helps me target my audience as far as when they're online, when they're most likely to engage. And then I get a really good dashboard of analytics that will show me how my post performed and if the timing was right and all that good stuff. All right, so we talked about batching content. We talked about planning a content calendar along with themes. I don't know if I mentioned this. Make sure you get your hashtags right for the holidays. Spend some time to do some hashtag research and see what will work well for your content during this period. The third tip that I have, and I love doing this because it just makes things so easy, is create holiday themed content templates. So head on over to Canva and you can just search in their search engine there and find some really great holiday content templates and then just edit them to match your branding. What I like to do is I like to pick about 30 different templates and edit them and then recycle those same 30 because people are not going to remember 30 days from today what your last graphic image looked like. So try and think in bulk that way, and then you can just rip through those graphics really quickly, make minor edits, and then schedule it all out on Metricool. It just makes life so much easier, and it helps you stay consistent. And we all know that staying consistent and visible and in front of your target audience is extremely important during this period of the year. Okay, tip number 4 is automating your holiday posting schedule. And I know we've already talked about this with Metricool, but I'm telling you, once you can automate all the repetitive things in your business, the better off you're going to be. So I like Metricool as my tool. Some people don't want to use that, and that's fine. And some people don't want to spend the money to use the paid version of Metricool. I get that too. What I would suggest you do if you post on Facebook and Instagram, use the Meta Business Suite and go in there and schedule your content out. They'll only let you schedule 29 days at a time. That's okay. That's 29 days that you don't need to think about when you're going to post. So go ahead and use that. LinkedIn also has a scheduling feature. If you don't know how to use that, actually ping me and let me know because I can do a whole tutorial on how to schedule through LinkedIn. So you have options here so that you're not always spending your time in real time on social media. And that's the goal, right? Because you've got more important things to do in your business during this period than spending all your time on social media. Okay, tip number 5 is repurpose. Now, if you've been posting for a while on social media and you went through the holidays last year, go back through and take a look at your top performing posts and make more of that content during this quarter because if it worked last year, chances are it's going to work again. So you don't want to recreate the wheel all the time. You want to maybe tweak the wheel so that it makes sense for this holiday season. Tip number 6, it's to set limits for holiday campaign tasks. Yes, the holiday campaigns are super important, but it is extremely easy to get caught up in the holiday hype, right? And then you spend too much time on one task. So what I like to do, and if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of this technique, and that is to use the Pomodoro technique. So what I'll do is I'll figure out whatever task I'm working on, and I will do a Pomodoro. And a Pomodoro is where you set a timer to get tasks done. So a traditional Pomodoro looks like this. You set a timer for 25 minutes. You do deep focused work for 25 minutes. You take a break, a 5-minute break. You get up from your work environment and literally get out of it for 5 minutes. So if you're working in an office, get up, walk around the office building, whatever. If you work from home, go somewhere else in your home, maybe go out in the backyard for a minute, take a breather, whatever it is, for 5 minutes, and then come back to your work environment and set another timer for 25 minutes to do deep work. And then I think you do that 3 times. And then once you've continued those 3 Pomodoros, then you take a longer break and then continue the whole thing over again. The idea here is to actually set time constraints so that you are focused on the campaign that you're creating for a short amount of time so that you don't get swallowed up in it. So one of my most favorite laws about time management in business is Parkinson's law. And that means what the law says is your work expands to fill the time you have allotted to it. So think about that for a second. Say you have 2 hours of free time and you're going to write a blog post as part of your holiday campaign, right? Marketing campaign. Well, you could probably get that blog post done in like 30 minutes to an hour, but you've got 2 hours available to you. Parkinson's law says that it's going to take you that 2 full hours to complete it because you have that time available. So if you use a Pomodoro and only give yourself 25 minutes to get that done, and you have to fulfill that commitment, you're going to make it happen. So that's what I try and do. So I'm not just stalling on certain things and certain tasks that are wasting my time. You want to make the most of your days, right? So really use those 2 things together, which is the Pomodoro technique and understanding Parkinson's law. Look it up on Google, both of them. Actually, I Googled this just the other night for a friend. They wanted to know about the Pomodoro technique, and there is a great graphic out there that shows you how to do it, and you can conceptualize how this whole Pomodoro technique works. And if you don't know what a Pomodoro is, it's the Italian word for tomato. And apparently tomato timers are really popular in Italy. And so that's why they call it the Pomodoro technique. So that's just a little fun fact for you. Okay. Tip number 7 is prioritize key holiday platforms. Okay. A lot of people feel as though they need to be everywhere on social media all the time, and especially during the holidays, right? Because you want to be highly visible. But that strategy is not maybe always the best strategy. My suggestion is focus on those platforms that are going to give you the best bang for your buck, the best ROI, return on investment. For example, if your audience is most active on Instagram and Facebook during Q4, that's where you want to be, baby. Just stay there and create the type of content that works really well on those platforms. Now, if your audience is on LinkedIn, that content's going to look a little different. Or if your audience is on TikTok and Reels, then you need to be prioritizing video and short form videos. So think about who your audience is, where they like to spend their time, and what they're most likely to engage with. Okay, tip number 8, and we kind of touched on this before, but I want to get a little bit more granular with this and a little bit more specific, and that is use a holiday content calendar. And you're like, Lora, what the heck is the difference that you just talked about? The difference is this. I want you to visualize the key holidays during this 4th quarter and which ones you really want to capitalize on, and just visualize what those campaigns are going to look like for those things. Yes, you need to still be posting other content so that people can relate to you and that you can be valuable to your audience. But these, I just want you to have a separate calendar that's going to highlight your key messages for those specific holidays. So for example, let's take Halloween. Well, let's take a couple of them. You're going to have Halloween, you're going to have Thanksgiving, you're going to have Black Friday, you're going to have Cyber Monday, and you're going to have maybe a week or 2, depending on your delivery schedule for whatever it is that you're selling during the holidays, leading up to Christmas and New Year's and whatever makes sense for your business. So what I'm saying is I want you to get super laser focused on those major holidays that you want to focus on during Q4 and really map out a plan for content surrounding those holidays. So let's take Halloween, for example. What are you doing for Halloween? How are you going to make Halloween work for you and your business? What are your offers? What are your messages What do you want your audience to remember you for? What do you want to be known for? What action do you want your audience taking during Halloween? And that's going to look very different from Thanksgiving. Leading up to Thanksgiving, it's going to look especially different on Black Friday, and it's even going to look more different on Cyber Monday, because all of those days drive people to do different things at different times. And so I want you to get laser focused on what that looks like for your business. Does it mean that you need to create lead magnets during Halloween so that you can get people excited and engaged in your business leading up to Black Friday? I don't know. I don't know what it looks like for you, but you need to think about how those major holidays during Q4 will actually play out for you. Okay, tip number 9. This is going to sound kind of out there, but just stick with me for a second. Outsource your holiday content creation. So what does that look like, and what the heck do I mean by that? Well, there are certain things that you can go on Fiverr or Upwork or whatever freelancer site you can find out there, and just hire a freelancer to handle certain things that maybe you can offload off your plate. And that could be like creating the graphics for you. Maybe you ask somebody on a freelance site to create 30 holiday templates for you, so you don't have to recreate the wheel and do all of that stuff. Maybe you have somebody create some copywriting for you. If you're having a writer's block and you're not really sure the best way to get your message out there, hire somebody who specializes in copywriting. All of these things, think about how you can use outsourcing as an assistant. And it doesn't have to be expensive, right? You may even want to hire a freelance campaign strategist who can actually map out the campaign for you if you struggle with that. So think about where you struggle and where you could need an expert, and just hire an expert for that one task. And it will just free up your life. It'll make you a little bit more sane to help you get through the holidays, because I know how difficult and how time crunched we can all be. Okay, my 10th tip is to create a holiday resource library. And what the heck do I mean by this? So you want like a dumping ground kind of things that pop up that you need to use during the holidays, but kind of don't know where to put them. You know they're important, and you know you need to take action on them. So here's what I do. I create a Google folder, and I'll call it Q4, or I'll call it, Holidays 2024. And then I'll put subfolders in there too. So maybe I have one just for graphics that I want to use, like find some graphics somewhere that I'm going to use, or I make some graphics. I put my templates in there. I put the holiday content calendars we talked about in there. Maybe I put a task list in there, a to-do list of things that I need to complete during the holidays. And maybe I break that down into outsourcing tasks, or if I have an assistant, or if I have people on my team, a delegation list. So you want to build this holiday resource library. And maybe there's some blogs or some YouTube channels or some videos or something that you're learning from. Maybe even this podcast helps. And you just I do this all the time. I have a document that has all these links in there, but it's all these important links that I don't want to forget, of videos, of podcasts, of blogs that I want to go back and refer to later. So just to be clear, this does not have to be a Google folder or anything like that. It could be whatever organizational tool that you use. Some people just love the Notes app on their phone. Some people like Evernote. Other people like Trello. So whatever works for you, just create one for Q4, see how you can organize it, and make sure it's a resource library that you know you can go back to and get the information you need to make a successful Q4 for you and your business. Okay, my friends, those are my tips for Q4 time management hacks. I hope they were helpful, and I want to invite you to come back again on Monday, because I'm going to have more information. I'm going to have more tips. I'm going to have more ideas for you so you can crush 2024. All right, until next time, you know what to do. Stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay social.
Hey there, I just want to say thank you for spending time with me here today. I know your time is super valuable, which is why I am dedicated to providing lots of usable, actionable information in the shortest amount of time possible. Before you go, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. And if you have ideas or topics you would like me to cover in an upcoming show, let me know about it in the comment section provided.